Welcome to the Geriatric Millennials. This is Jayme.
And this is Beth.
And we are two oldish, youngish ladies talking about holiday ick. Which I wasn't even really sure what that was at first, but now I have a list.
Yes. You know, I love a nice little complaint. You know what I mean? I love a nice little.
I know you do.
Like I love to just say, that's what annoys me, guys. Like I love a little gripe. And usually it's like not big gripes. I like to do like the little very specific gripes. And so I was like, yeah, we need to talk about holidays because holidays can be a very ick season.
It's true.
Because I think because there's so much family involved and friends and people you haven't seen in a long time, you run into people and expectations are really high, which I feel like allows for a lot of failure and
why are you going down my list already?
Okay.
So true.
There's so many things.
It's so true.
There's so many things. Like one of my biggest pet peeves during the holiday, especially when I was like, not growing up, I didn't have to do this, but I would be around like my friends' kids and they would force them to like say hello to everybody in the room or give them a goodbye hug and kiss.
Okay.
And it always icked me out.
Okay. The forced. Yeah.
Because number one, I don't particularly like children coming up to me with their germy little saliva.
Yeah.
And like, hey, do you want a kiss? No.
No, thank you.
And my family, one side of my family are very much like kissers. So like when you go and see them, they always give you a peck. And it is the most traumatic thing for me. Like I feel it, the saliva on my skin.
You want to wipe it off?
I always turn my head. I always wipe it, but I don't just wipe it once. I'm just like, I can feel their
Do you
like.
feel like you want to go take a shower?
Minimally just like wash my face.
Yeah.
I hate it. And especially if they have a lot of saliva and they like leave a little pool.
No thanks.
No thanks. And so it's even worse with kids because kids are, it's one thing when you're an adult and somebody's like smooching you, but it's another thing when there's a parent be like, no, go give cousin Beth a kiss goodbye.
I feel like kids are even more slobbery.
They are. And like sometimes they miss and they're like too close and also like, or they have that hesitation on their face and it's just like, they don't want to do it.
Yeah. You want to intervene and say, no, just give me a high five.
I always do. I'm like, if a kid, they're like, oh, give everybody a hug or a kiss. And I'm like, you can shake my hand or you can just look at me in the eye and we can nod because we don't have to play that game.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's something that's really shifted in the last years with consent and just different things and teaching kids about bodies. Yeah. Just like, hey, you shouldn't force people to do things.
Yeah.
Even if it just seems very benign, like giving everybody a hug.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm looking forward to a child-free holiday.
Way to just kick this off, Beth. You know what I was going to kick this off with? I was going to kick this off with the annoyance I have in walking into a store in September and seeing Christmas decorations
so bad.
For sale.
Yeah.
Seriously?
It's so bad.
September.
It's too early.
And then, I get even October. I'm just like,
early.
Can we please have Halloween?
I 100% agree with you. The only like little asterisk to that is like craft stuff. I appreciate getting like holiday whatever out a little early. So if you're deciding you want to like make stuff with like a holiday theme, so you can buy it
for gifts.
For gifts, yeah. So like if
that's
I want
just not even on my radar.
But like
I'm just like, why are there Christmas trees?
Well, that's very different. That's decorations.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But sometimes at the store, like because at Michael's, too much Christmas out too early. But I do appreciate if they have like a holiday yarn that they get it out early so I can get it to like make the thing. But other than that, no, I don't want to see it until at least November.
Okay. I think if I'm going to go to a store like Michael's or a hobby crafty type of store, which I don't ever go into, very rarely, I feel like I would have a little bit more grace in that respect.
Yes. Yeah.
You're talking about like
literally
Costco.
Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
The grocery store. It's like, what are we doing?
What is America doing?
Literally, I saw a lady. This was like, I don't know. It must have been, I was so towards the end of October, I wanted a pumpkin for November. So they had them on sale because it was after Halloween. And I got like some artisan pumpkins that were kind of goofy looking to put out for Thanksgiving. But I think it was literally still October. It must have been like November 2nd or something. I don't know. But literally the lady in front of me was already buying her entire Thanksgiving meal.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah. I think it was like November 1st or 2nd. And I was looking at her cart because I had my 2 pumpkins and I was so excited because they were like 19 cents a pound. I got them for like $3. I was like, this was the best thing I've ever done. And now my Thanksgiving was a lot better for it. But yeah, she had bought her whole Thanksgiving dinner.
That early?
That early. And I was like, is it on sale? Are you doing like a Friendsgiving already? Or are you just like prepared?
Maybe.
I mean, good for you.
You never know people's stories when they're buying stuff. People always make assumptions about what I'm buying. I know that because they make comments because I frequently buy for events.
Oh, yeah.
Or I recently went shopping for a food pantry.
Okay.
That was a huge shopping trip. And so it was money that was designated, but that had been like saved up.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a large amount of money and products.
Yeah.
And I think people are curious, but they also don't ask questions. They just assume.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got a lot of kids, or you must have a big party happening or whatever. And I don't usually offer any information. Usually I just laugh and go, or something like that.
You're so funny, Bob.
I just don't feel like. Occasionally, maybe it depends on my mood. Occasionally, I will say, "Oh, actually, it's for XYZ," but most of the time, I'm just like, I don't want to tell you.
Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me?
I do want people to talk to me, but I don't. I don't know. There's something about the assumption piece. Like if they would have asked, I feel like I would be more open to tell them the story. But because there's assumptions, I don't know. It just irritates me, and I'm like, it's none of your business.
Yeah. Well, kind of in line with like your. Like the store thing of just going in and it's too soon. It's when people start playing Christmas music too soon in stores. So it's kind of 2-part. Like if I go into a store and it's not even November and there's soft Christmas music playing in the background, it just is irksome to me.
Thank you.
And then it even gets worse because like as the holiday goes along, it's like the music gets louder. I'm like, it is December 1st and you are blaring music at the grocery store. Like I need you to bring it down 6 notches.
Beth, you know what this reminds me of?
What?
When you and I went and got margaritas one time.
That was horrible.
And this is one of my holiday icks. It's the cheesy children's Christmas. Oh
my gosh, that was awful.
Music that is just lame and annoying.
And high-pitched.
As if that's Christmas music.
Yeah.
The dumb ones.
Yeah. Oh, like, that was rough.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Or just along those lines, like whatever hippopotamus Christmas, just silly stuff.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place. Fine. Wasn't then. But most of the time and most of the places, I'm going to say no.
Absolutely not. I don't need a Kids Bop version of the holidays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fine. We can just have classics and standards. And
classics and standards, yes, but it's the cheesy kids with their little kid voices.
Oh, it's the worst.
That I don't enjoy that, and I don't know who does. But you and I were at a restaurant in a bar section,
in a bar
section of a restaurant, and it was loud children's silly songs. It was like silly songs
with a Christmas flair, and it was horrible.
We
were just trying to have margaritas, and it was so distracting.
It was. I think I said something or made a comment like, "Oh, okay, so who's the DJ or something?" You know?
Yeah, it was
because
not great.
It was grating.
It was painful.
It was
painful. So I have a real issue with this online. So last year on TikTok, there was this guy going around and he was doing one of those like angel trees where you know, there's like families that you kind of like quote unquote adopt for the holidays and they put like their wants out and then you go buy them the stuff they want. And I've done that before. Like it's nice and it can be super fun, especially like I like to shop for people and especially if I don't always have little kids in my life to shop for and it can be really fun to go buy toys. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, let me just, toys for tots or whatever it is. Cause then you get the joy of buying a toy, but I don't want a toy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Anyway, so like this guy though, he was like buying all this stuff and then he was like on all the packaging, he would like cross out the barcodes and put like donated. And then, but he's like documenting this whole process of how like all of the stuff he's like buying and donating. And it was kind of a 2 thing. So the first thing, that's gross to do, to like try and get clout for like doing kind of like just a nice gesture. I feel similar to people that like videotape themselves like giving to like underhouse folks on the street or like giving a meal to someone, and they're like
Look at me.
They look at me and they have somebody behind like, you know, far away like videotaping them for like a reel. And you're like, what are you doing? Like just do it to be a good person. And then the other part that was really annoying about this guy is that, you know, how awful would that be to like get a package of stuff for Christmas, maybe even think it's from like Santa or something, and on the back of the package is like donated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it changes it.
It changes it. And then I heard from this other lady that runs these types of programs and like works them. She said a lot of times families can end up going, and so sometimes what families will do is they'll wrap the presents like they're giving them to the kids themselves, because that's a really beautiful thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
And then also like a lot of times if stuff doesn't fit, then they're able to go take it back. But as soon as you scratch out the barcode and write donated and like, here's your socks, you know, give me those brownie points. It really just is gross to me.
I don't like that either.
Yeah. But I'm all for like, again, I think the more that we can give this holiday season, it's so fun. It's the best thing ever.
For sure.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something I had thought of, and that was there's kind of a fine line. There's a difference between doing, like you said, the Toys for Tots or the angel trees or whatever, versus a mass, almost like production of. Now, I don't know if I should even mention it, but it's like the shoebox type of an idea. And I get that that for a lot of kids that could be like a really good thing. Mm-hmm. But on some levels, like there's strings attached to it.
Oh, so you're talking about like the shoeboxes you fill with toys and stuff, but then it comes at a cost.
And then it comes with stuff that is just like tracts and things that are just like trying to get people to believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. And it just doesn't feel as genuine. And it also just
it's strings attached.
It's strings attached. Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It feels like ick to me.
I think giving anonymously is the best. And especially when people would never know who it came from. And there's no like in the pockets, you know, come to our church this Sunday kind of thing where it just makes it like, oh, did you do it just for that, or is this for free advertising?
Right.
Yeah.
What else?
So in line, again, with my obsession with TikTok, this really bothers me because every year around this time of year, you see these holiday Christmas morning videos come out with like moms sharing what they got. And a lot of times it's not great. And there was like a few years back, SNL did a joke about like it was the Christian wig. I got a robe.
The robe. Yes.
Yeah, the robe. So it's just about this mom that does all of these amazing things for her family, and she's like, I got a robe. Like the dog is treated beautifully, and the kids and husband are just like indulging
off,
everything,
about everything they got.
And it's just like, and she's like, and I got a robe. But there were so many moms posting about how like they were like having the kids open the stockings, and the husband opened the stocking, and then the husband would be like, well, where's your stocking? And she's like, nobody filled it. And they're like, well, why didn't anybody fill it? And she's like, connect the dots.
Yeah, you're the people.
Yeah, and it was like mom after mom, like literally not getting any stocking stuff or anything, and it made me so sad. And I get it, when you have younger kids, like this other spouse really does need to like step up. I feel like as kids get older, I think it's really important to teach them the art of giving, and like, you know, that kind of thing I think is really good to do. But it's just so sad when you see these moms that are just like put every effort out to do everything and make like memories and moments, and like, you know, the magic of the holidays I just feel really comes a lot of times from moms. And then they're like, you got nothing, but you can go make us breakfast.
Exactly. That is so funny. Well, I was going to say being the adult. Yeah. That's the holiday.
Yeah.
Because you do make it happen. Mm-hmm. You make the magic happen. You figure it out. You do the shopping. You do the planning. You do all of the prep and the work and everything so that everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But that's not as enjoyable as just waking up to enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, at least for me, being the adult is kind of the ick part. I would, yeah. I mean, I'm happy to be an adult. I don't want to be a child anymore. No. But I do feel
there's
like
a level of
there.
ick.
Well, and there is expectations and pressures that come with holidays that feel like pressure and expectations that I would love to eliminate that part, if possible.
You know, since stepping back from youth ministry, that's one of the things I loved the most was our holiday parties. because it was magical. Like every year was a different theme. It was like a 3-hour-long party with games and prizes, and like kids would get so excited and amped up and having so much fun, and you could just feel it, like the energy was so great. And then now I'm just home watching show. It's so calm. It's so calm, and just again, it's like I said, I'm the adult now. I'm like, am I gonna like do a big festive party just for myself and maybe a few friends? Probably not.
I wish.
But it's like, it's
so
not,
I could come do it.
But it's not the same as like, hey guys, like come have a slumber party at my house and then we'll wake up and like open presents. Like it's just, the vibe's different.
It is.
Yeah. Many times my mom comes over for the holidays to my house to open presents on Christmas morning. And it's just always like a little bit awkward because it's just the two of us. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Like the vibe is just weird. It's just, it doesn't feel the same. So that's my ick.
Yeah.
And this is kind of unpopular, I think. Hallmark movies give me the ick. So in I don't know if you've seen very many Hallmark movies.
Not specifically Hallmark, but I know what you're talking about.
It's that genre of Christmas movie where big city girl goes home to her Christmas tree farm, eggnog mill, cranberry juice, sauce making factory.
Candy.
Sometimes Santa owns it, sometimes doesn't.
Right.
And then leaves the fiance and falls in love with the son or the cousin or whoever's trying to save whatever factory is happening, and they have some cute moments, and then there's always some like disagreement, and like instead of just having a conversation, they just run away from each other. Like this could have been solved in a 30-second, like, oh, this was just a little misunderstanding. Okay. No, we got 35 more minutes of this until you guys kiss under the snow falling like you're in a little snow globe.
Right.
Okay. This, I know. And Hallmark churned these things out. I think there's a new one like almost every single day in December. Right? Yeah. I mean, do I watch some of them? Yes. I have to say though, I feel like the quality of that style of the movie was really actually pretty good in like the 2010s. Okay. Like maybe 2000 to 2015, we had a heyday. And there's some bangers out there that I still watch and love. And they had a little bit more flair to them. It didn't feel quite as corny, maybe because there just wasn't 8,000 of them anymore. But like now it's just like, I'll start watching one and I'm like, can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah. And so it gives me the ick.
So what I had written down for a similar thing was, I didn't call it Hallmark. I called it disappointingly unrealistic Christmas movies.
So true. It's so spot on.
Yeah.
Because it's so just like...
It's just disappointingly unrealistic to the point where it's not enjoyable because you don't get wrapped... I love getting wrapped up in a rom-com, a good rom-com.
Yeah, it's kind of painful.
I'm going to say Elf on the Shelf has been overdone.
Yeah.
It's been overdone.
Yeah.
It almost feels competitive. It feels exhausting. I don't do it. Mm-hmm. I've never done it. But that's not to say I don't enjoy watching reels or whatever of, what these elves get up to, quote unquote, these elves get up to. But it seems exhausting, and it seems like too far, too much, too long. Just chill.
Also, sometimes it gets a little too inappropriate. Like there's a point, like I don't need everything to turn sexual or to drugs or to something like innuendo. I just need it to not be that.
Yeah. And I would like for people to be able to be free from that if they so choose. I think people do get a lot of enjoyment. I'm just not one of those people.
I think there's a point too, though, like you do it for a couple years and whatever. Well, but it just can be like, after a while, I mean, you're going to do this for 12 years. Right. I mean, that's pretty long.
No,
but,
I think
like
people
8 years or something.
Because then they get to have another kid come along. And so, but I think for me, I love the ideas, a couple of ideas that are really funny and cute. Mm-hmm. But it's a thing that's just like day after day after day after day.
Well, and then the traumatization of the kids when one of the brothers or sisters touches the elf, which then I guess it loses its magic. And I've seen so many TikToks of kids having full-on meltdowns that they have like destroyed Christmas because they've touched the elf and now the magic's gone and they've ruined it. And then the parent has to come up with a whole thing on how they can reinvigorate these guys. And it's just like, that's too much. That's too much.
Too much. Just the exhaustion in general. Mm-hmm. That's an ick for me.
It's an ick?
It's because there's so much extra.
Yeah.
So not only are you doing your everyday life, don't get me wrong, I love holidays. I love the season and all, a lot of what it brings. But there's all these extra elements that kind of wear you out and make you extra tired because it's all extra.
Yeah. No, thanks.
No, thank you.
Nope.
And last but not least is Christmas fruitcake.
Oh, fascinating.
It's just gross. It's not good. It's not good. Doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
I don't think
I don't think I've ever had a really great fruitcake.
It's no, thank you. There's of all the delicious treats in this world.
It's so dense.
Please no.
Yeah.
Give me a nice gingerbread, ginger snap cookie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that any day. I do not want Christmas fruitcake.
Huh.
With green and red chewy
cherries
bits that are who knows what. I don't know. And with nuts and no thanks.
My grandma used to make a fruitcake every year for us and put it, I remember I can just see it in our freezer, been wrapped in, aluminum foil and just stay there for 6 months and then throw it away. But I think I like the idea of a fruitcake only for nostalgia, but I don't want to eat the fruitcake.
They're pretty.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat it though.
I have to say my last ick is just that the holiday season flies by.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I always get so excited at the end of kind of September because I'm like, it's fall. And I'm always like, this is going to be great. And then all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, it's already the end of October. And then it's just always like, what? November's halfway gone. And then it's like, oh, okay, it's over.
Everything's over.
Yeah. So anyway,
wah,
wah, wah. But I don't know. I feel great now. I love getting a good ick out.
Enjoy. Yeah. Oh, yes.
It feels wonderful. You know what I always think is an ick too is when people season's greetings, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I'm like, I need you to bring it down. We're in line at the ATM.
What do you want people to say?
Merry Christmas. Okay. Happy holidays, season's greetings.
Oh, I see.
It's the enthusiasm behind it. It's kind of like the bell ringers that get a little too aggressive. I'm going to need you to bring it down 15 notches. Also, who has a penny anymore? I got Venmo. You're going to have to give me a QR code.
Right.
Merry Christmas. If you're enjoying the podcast and would like to support the show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost. Check out their latest album now. Thank you so much.